been a lot of rumors and speculations around Athena's case, so I'd like to honor her by just stating the facts. Athena Strand was staying the school semester with her biological father, Jacob Strand, and stepmother, Lizzie Strand, in the rural home in Paradise, Texas. Her bio mom, Matlin Gandy, lived a little over an hour away in Comanche, Oklahoma. On November 30th, Athena got off the bus at 4:15 p.m. Athena's dad and grandpa had left to go to South Texas on a hunting trip, leaving Athena and two sisters home with Lizzie. The oldest daughter was across the street doing her homework with her aunt when Athena and Lizzie got into an argument. I don't believe this was a big blow-up argument, more of a squabble that a typical stepmom 7-year-old child would have. After the disagreement, Athena went outside and her stepmom started dinner. Thinking she would come back, it was 5:30 when Athena went outside, so that was the last time Lizzie saw Athena. In the beginning of the case, we thought we had two stories here coming from the stepmom, but what actually happened was someone had found a post on Biomom's Facebook, and it told a story of Athena walking to school herself. That school was in Oklahoma, not in Texas. And it was a cute story about how her mom had to hop into the shower before taking her to school. Well, Athena got antsy and just took off for school herself. Now, the school in Oklahoma was in eyesight of Mom's house. All of that happened previously in Oklahoma, not in Texas. So Lizzie finishes making dinner and tending to the baby when she realizes Athena hadn't come back in, and it had been a while. We know from dispatch call that the stepmom searches probably her property and also the nearby aunt's property before calling 911 at 6:40. Now, I don't know if she called Jacob before or after 911, but she called him and the grandpa, who were just south of Fort Worth, and they turned around and came straight back. Athena's mom was also called, and she headed straight to Paradise. Law enforcement were on the scene within 10 to 15 minutes, which triggered a massive search for Athena. Law enforcement and family searched into the night with thermal drones, search dogs, and helicopter support. The FBI and Texas Rangers also came onto the scene that night to help in the search for Athena. Nothing was found but wildlife, and the search was called off around 4:30 a.m., only to start back up a few hours later. The next day, over 200 locals showed up on foot, ATVs, and horses and volunteered to assist law enforcement. Unfortunately, the only thing found that day was a lot of misinformation. An Amber Alert was also issued for Athena, even though there was no proof of an abduction. Rumors began to spread like wildfire on social media, such as Athena being forced to live in a shed trailer alone that was far away from the family home. This was obviously false. It was just an old trailer on the property that hadn't been removed yet. It was thoroughly searched. Rumors about her being buried in a trash pit probably stemmed from the search of said trash pit. Athena's grandpa assisted law enforcement with the trash pit search by using excavating equipment. Rumors of searchers finding a deceased dog on the property set the gossip mill ablaze with all sorts of nefarious thoughts. In reality, the dog wasn't even found on the Strand property, and it had been dead for quite some time. The Strands knew nothing about it. It was also said that Jacob and Lizzie were arrested that day. This proved to be false, of course. It's typical for close family members or those that were there when a child goes missing to be taken in for questioning. Law enforcement have to build a timeline, and they do that by collaborating information from multiple sources, those closest to Athena. Rumors of CPS involvement began, as they sadly do in missing person cases, and even though they were quickly unfounded, the damage had been done. By the end of day 2, the searchers had covered 50 acres and found nothing but a hit by the search dogs, but the dogs were unable to track her scent past the perimeter of the property. Law enforcement told us at the press conference Friday morning that all of the parents were cooperating with them and that the searchers would be asked to stand down so they could focus on more targeted searches. They also confirmed with us that any RSOs in the area had been questioned. We learned that the case was turning towards a more criminal investigation as opposed to a recovery case, and that lit a match on the rumor mill again. Many on social media began to dig into Lizzie and Jacob's social media and past, creating speculation on what happened to Athena based on weird concocted connections from their social media accounts. All the while, law enforcement had learned early on in the investigation through digital evidence that a FedEx delivery had taken place at the same time Athena had went missing. They built their case, filed for search warrants, and were able to bring an individual in for questioning. They interrogated him and served the search warrants on his property. And at 8 p.m. on December 2nd, after being led by that individual on a couple of wild goose chases, law enforcement finally located Athena just 7 miles from her home. It was an ending that nobody wanted. And we don't know all the details of what happened between the time Athena walked out of her home that day and the time that the Texas Rangers escorted her to the medical examiner's office in Dallas. They'll all come out in due time. I hope that we can all learn from that, though, and do Athena the honor of covering her case with facts moving forward so that we don't cause any more undue hurt to her family as grieving the tragic loss of their sweet girl. Athena's mom shared out these messages on her Facebook early this morning. She said, "I want the world to know my baby, my first true love, the reason I breathe. This is Athena in our home in Oklahoma when she was 3. I'm not sure why it popped up on my Facebook now, but I love my daughter beyond words, and I will always love her. I cannot describe the pain and absolute anger I feel. Missing her doesn't cover how I feel. My daughter's name is Athena Presley Monroe Strand, which she would happily announce to anyone listening, and anyone not listening she would make listen. My princess was taken from me, from a sick, cruel monster for absolutely no reason. Athena is innocent, beautiful, kind, intelligent, and just the brightest, happiest soul you could ever meet. I don't want her to be the girl known as the one murdered and discarded by a monster. I want everyone to know, every single person in this world, that this is my baby girl and my baby was taken from me. I want everyone to know her face and her voice and just how wonderful of a person she is." Athena's favorite color is pink. She loves to dress up as the princess we all know she is. When she grows up, she wants to be a Viking princess, just like her Viking daddy, with lots of tattoos everywhere and hair as long as Rapunzel's. She loves all animals and all people. She loves jewelry and all things shiny. Her favorite fast food joint is McDonald's. No, she would eat it 3 times a day, every day, if mommy and daddy had allowed it. She loves all people. Athena really loves makeup and doing mommy and sissy's makeup. Athena goes crazy for candy and sweets. Athena loves swimming and jumping off of diving boards and being outdoors. Athena loves her 2 baby sisters with all she has. She's the best big sissy. Athena loves school, drawing, and laughing. Athena has the best laugh. She thinks farts are hilarious. Athena is loved by mommy and daddy and all her sisters, many, many aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents.